So an autism diagnosis, a lot of the time it's not just the children who are getting diagnosed. Let's get into this. Hey guys, welcome back to the Aspie World. My name is Dan and I have autism and ADHD. I make weekly videos all about this stuff, so if you're new around here and you want to learn more, make sure to hit the subscribe button by clicking that notification bell down below and you'll see all the videos I put out. Guys, welcome back. What is going on? And just for a heads up, I actually have a free Autism Life Hacks PDF book that you can get from autismtips.net, or you can just go to the link in the description of this video. Now, guys, autism diagnosis is quite a question when it comes to, where did it come from? We don't actually know. Science has no definitive proof of where autism comes from. They have speculation. There's no specific place of origin, but we do know that it is genetic or it's inherent. That means that it travels within the genome patterns of the family as a whole. And so when you're thinking about a child has autism, well, that autism has to come from somewhere because it is genetically linked, which means that somewhere in your ancestry there is an autistic person or many people of neurodivergence that kind of come together to give you this kind of neurodevelopmental condition known as autism in this day and age. Now, the interesting thing that I come across all the time is that parents will say to me, hey, I was going through the diagnosis process with my kid, and so the interviewer was asking me questions about my kid, and then I was like, that sounds a lot like me. And so the parent starts to question are they autistic? Like, are they the one on the spectrum? It's a possibility. Now, many parents, and I get this all the time, will say that after their child was diagnosed with autism, they were also diagnosed with autism. Why is this and how did this happen? Is it normal and what to do? I'm going to tell you all about that right now. But before I do, I'm just going to say thank you to today's sponsor, which is Brillia. Now, Brillia is a non-prescription, non-addictive homeopathic medication which helps with things like enhancing clarity, improves concentration and focus, and reduces feelings of anxiety, stress, irritability, impulsivity, which is basically all the things that come with ADHD. So I highly recommend checking out Brillia. Now, the cool thing is Brillia make a Brillia for children and a Brillia for adults. Now, I would highly recommend checking these out if you wanted some alternative, to other types of medication that you might have seen or tried. It's a small little tabs that just dissolve into your tongue. They're tasteless. And you take about 2 to 3, maybe 4 of them a day. After about 2 or 3 weeks, it really kicks in and you feel the difference. I use it and I swear by it. Now, if you want to try it out, make sure to check with your doctor or health professional first because you don't want to be taking anything that would go against your own medical needs. Now, if you're interested in trying it and you get the okay, you can use the link in the description down below and you get 15% off with the code ASPIE15 to try Brillia right now. So definitely check them out. I highly recommend them. They're a really cool company and they're very ethical and I just love them. They're really good. So, is it normal for parents to be diagnosed after their children is? Well, I would say that 9 times out of 10, when a child is going through the diagnostic process, the parent then also goes through the diagnostic process and becomes official diagnosed autistic adult. And it's really interesting because usually it's happening now more than ever because the millennial generation, which is now growing up and having children, they are seeing autism in their children, and we now have an understanding of autism and a way to diagnose it efficiently, effectively, and it's readily available, right? The access to autism diagnosis is more readily available than ever has been. So the boomers, when they were having millennials as children, didn't have access to the same level of medical care that we do now, or the same level of medical understanding and knowledge that we do to the extent and to the volume that we do now. And so a lot of the millennials who were autistic and ADHD were missed off the diagnostic criteria and kind of always cast aside during their schooling or academic and scholastic studies. Sad to say, the least, but at the end of the day, it does open up a whole new avenue of understanding of where autism comes from. It's not like people randomly just start getting autism now, or people never used to have it in the past, which is a load of rubbish. People have always had autism. Autism has existed for millennia. Since the dawn of humans, people have been autistic. Now, the only difference is we hadn't had an understanding of it, properly since the original kind of, papers were done by Leo Kanner and Hans Asperger in 1942. So since then, Lorna Wing and all these other kind of amazing experts like Baron Curran, and they've all done amazing work and really understanding and extrapolating all that work to really understand what autism is. And now we have a deeper understanding. Now the parents can actually get that understanding for themselves. Now, would I advise a parent who believes they're autistic to go for the diagnosis process? Well, yes, I would. And the reason I say this is because there may be areas in your life which you are struggling with, and maybe you want access to support or access to help. And having an official diagnosis in this area will help you in that area. Now, other than this, a lot of the time I'd say a self-knowing, self-understanding, and a self-acceptance. Like when you were a kid and you're rolling around and you're thinking, oh my goodness, what's wrong with me? You know, I've been there. I was that kid. I was like, oh my God, what's wrong with me? What's going on? And then I eventually had this autism diagnosis. I was like, oh, well, it makes sense. You know, it's not something that's wrong with me. It's just something that is me. And that kind of gave me I don't know, almost a breath of fresh air to kind of relax a little bit and know that I wasn't this kind of complete weirdo, which I kind of am a little bit of a weirdo, but you know what I mean? Like I'm not something I'm not a freak of nature, right? I'm actually a product of just the universe. And that peace of mind really helped me come to terms with a lot of the unusual habits I have. And I would say the same thing to the millennial parents watching this right now. If you're going through the diagnosis process, if you've been through that diagnostic process and you've noticed patterns within your child, within yourself, and then the assessor says that that's autism, then it may be worth checking out and seeing if that is something you want to check out. Now, if you haven't already gone as far as that, you can go to the aspieworld.com/autism test, and I'll leave a link for this in the description down below. And you can actually take an AQ test, which stands for Autism Quotient Test, on my website. Now, if you do that, it will give you some basically questions that you answer just like a Q&A, like a yes or no, or I agree or disagree. Now, at the end of that, it'll give you some number. Now, between 33 and 50, those points will indicate that you may be on the autism spectrum, but any lower than 33 is kind of like, you know, nothing to think that it could be autistic. Now, definitely check that out, because I use this as backup evidence when you are assisting the protocol to then wanting to go forward and have an autism spectrum diagnosis formally done. Now, if you are on the autism spectrum when you're watching this video and you just wanted to watch it for interest, then let me know. Are you autistic? Are you waiting to get an autism diagnosis? Or are you a parent looking to think, hey, maybe I'm on the autism spectrum, right? Let me know in the comments down below, because I read every single comment. And I'd also love it if you could share this video and give it a thumbs up, because it really helped me out. If you find value in this that can help other people, I want to help as many people as possible. Guys, check out this video that I'm recommending right here. I think you're going to love it, and I think it's going to be of interest to you. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace.